Hey guys, welcome to a special episode of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Chapter 1, The Celestial Duo. Our story begins a very, very long time ago with a young girl. One day, this girl spotted a rusted spaceship holding a small star child. "What's your name? Are you lost?" the girl asked the star child. "I'm Luma, and I'm waiting for my mama. She's coming for me on a comet," and a star child who had been waiting day and night. "Don't worry, I'll wait with you," the little girl promised Luma. At nightfall, the little girl borrowed her father's telescope and peered into the sky. She looked and looked, but she saw nothing. Hours turned into days, and then years, but still, the sky revealed nothing. Finally, the little girl sighed and said to Luma, "If we stay here looking for much longer, I'll be an old lady soon." But then she had an idea. "Why don't we go out there and find your mother ourselves?" The girl and Luma fixed up the rusty spaceship, and then the two set sail into the starry sky. And this is how the search for the celestial mother began. I'm terrible at ASMR. I'm trying. Okay. Chapter 2. Chapter number 222. Starbits. Days passed with no sight of the comet or even a single planet. Instead, asteroids extended for as far as the eye could see. "If I had known it was going to take this long, I would have packed more jam," said the little girl above the rumble of her belly. Before they left, she had packed all the essentials: telescope, butterfly net, stuffed bunny, bread, milk, jam, and apricot-flavored tea. But I forgot to bring water. At this, Luma burst into gales of laughter. The girl began to pout. "As long as I have starbits, I'll be fine," said Luma. "Want some?" The little girl couldn't stay mad after hearing this. Luma continued to laugh, and the girl couldn't help but join in. "All right, maybe just a nibble." Leaning far out of the ship, the pair began to collect starbits with the girl's net. They almost fell out of a few times, but they kept on collecting. The starbits tasted like honey. Chapter 3. The Comet. A beam of light pierced through the ship's window. Thinking it was the morning sun, the girl peered through the window, only to find a turquoise blue comet shimmering at her. The little girl shook the sleeping Luma awake and shouted excitedly, "We have to get to that comet!" The pair descended on the comet and found that it was made of ice. They looked high and low, but Luma's mother was nowhere to be found. Exhausted, the little girl sat down with a flop, utterly unable to take another step. "Look!" Peering down at the icy ground where Luma was pointing, the girl suddenly noticed clusters of starbits encased in the ice. "Pretty good, huh? Finding starbits is my specialty," said Luma, beaming. "There's ice here, but it's so warm. I bet there's water here too." The two decided to stay on the comet for a while. Riding the turquoise comet, the pair continued their search for Luma's mother. Chapter 4. The Dream. Shh. I'm sorry. It's making one night. The girl dreamed about her own mother. Where are you going? She asked her mother's retreating back. Without turning, her mother replied, Don't fret, dearest. I'm not going anywhere. I'm always watching over you, like the sun in the day and the moon in the night. I almost said in the sky. Oh. A wave of sadness washed over the girl. What about when it rains and I can't see the sun or the moon? Her mother thought for a moment before responding. I will turn into a star in the clouds and wait for your tears to dry. When she awoke, the girl's face was damp with tears. You have star bits in your eyes, said Luma the girl. Wiping her face, the girl replied, These are tears, not star bits. I'm crying because I'll never see my mother ever again. How sad. At this, Luma began to cry too. Mama, oh mama, where? The pair traveled through the starry skies, and though they encountered many other comets, not one of them held Luma's mother. Luma was... Oh, sorry, I couldn't read that last word. Now, Luma, the rain clouds won't go away if you keep crying, the girl said, giving Luma a squeeze. I'll give you a present if you stop. The girl closed her eyes and said gently, I'll take care of you. With these words, she felt a small spark in her heart. Chapter 5. Home. The kitchen will go here, and the library will go over there. The girl said busily to herself, We'll put the gate here. Ever since the girl took Luma under her care, she'd been bustling about it at a feverish pace. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it to make a happy home. It turned out that starbirds weren't the only things buried in the ice. They were tools and furniture, unlike any they had ever seen, and the girl used to have them build a home. Used them to build a home. I'm sorry, guys. That's not right. Looking at the completed house, Luma remarked, Don't you think it's awfully big for just the two of us? With a lot... Shoot, I accidentally... Sorry, guys. I'm going too fast. If only my father, brother, and mother were here, the girl said wistfully. Indeed, the house was too large for its too small residence. Oh. That night, clutching her favorite stuffed bunny close to her heart, the girl fell asleep in the starship. Chapter 6. Friends. Then one night, then one day, while the girl sat sipping tea, a tiny apricot-colored planet appeared on the horizon. From the planet, another Luma of the same color emerged. Do you two know each other? The girl asked the two Lumas gleefully. Despite the girl's excitement, they seemed uneasy. The two Lumas neither drew closer nor backed away from each other. Instead, they just stared. Then one Luma broke the silence. My mama. At once the apricot Luma parroted back. My mama, my mama, my mama, my mama. At once the apricot Luma parroted back. My mama, my mama, my mama. The two Lumas neither drew closer nor back away from each other. Instead, they just stared. The one Luma broke the silence. My mama. At once the apricot Luma parroted back. My mama, my mama, my mama, my mama. The two Lumas began to dance around the girl. Wait a minute. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't realize you can actually go back and I didn't realize you can go back page. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was a thing. That's my fault. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I learned something new. Okay. The two Lumas began to dance around the girl frantically, and neither showed any sign of stopping. The girl was so charmed by this adorable scene that she couldn't help but laugh, and that's when something very strange happened. Whoa! Suddenly, more Lumas began to pop out from the apricot plant. They were different colors, but they all shouted the same thing. My mama! My mama! The sight of all the shouting Lumas only made the girl laugh harder. What am I going to do with all these children? Lumas just stared blankly as she doubled over laughing. I guess we'll have to name each and every one of you. Tomorrow, when she had finished naming them all, she would begin moving all the Lumas into the new house. Chapter 7. The Telescope. After seeing their 100th comet, a sudden thought popped into the girl's head. I wonder if my home planet is still as blue as it was. That's when she remembered her father's telescope. Peeking into the telescope, a tiny blue dot floated into sight. It was smaller than a star bit. How strange. It's so far away, but it feels so close. She twisted the knob of the telescope and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted with flowers. He seemed very familiar to her. Zooming even closer, a terrace on the hill came into view. I used to go stargazing there when I lived on my home planet. She remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars. She remembered how she and her brother would sled down the hill. She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days. And I want to go home. I want to go home right now. The girl burst into tears, and Lewis didn't know what to do. I want to go home. I want to go back to my house on the hill. I want to see my mother. The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. But I know she's not there. I knew all along that she wasn't out there in the sky because she's sleeping under the tree on the hill. The girl's cries echoed through the stars, and a hush fell over the area. Oh, that's just sad, man. Chapter 8. The Wish. Though usually quite cheery, one day the girl became sad again. Luma drew close and tried to comfort her. Mama, you still have me, and don't be sad about your mama, because she's a part of you. That means she's always close by. It's like me. I love starbits because they remind me of my mama. No, the girl said, unable to stop the tears. A lonely look flickered across Luma's face, but it was soon replaced by a wide grin. I have an idea. I will transform into a comet, a soaring comet that can carry you all on this journey. Whoa! With that, Luma trailing bands of white soared high into the sky and just as quickly started to plummet back down. Kaboom! Kablam! The ground shook, and a bright light poured out of the crater that the Luma had created. The bands of light twisted together to form a comet tail, and then Luma emerged reborn as a comet. The girl could scarcely believe her eyes. But how? She kept asking. Our destiny as Lumas is to transform into different things, said a red Luma who had suddenly appeared. Stars, comets, planets. We can become all of these things. When I grow up, I want to become a star that makes someone special smile, said a green Luma. A blue Luma chimed in. That Luma turned into a real cutie of a comet, didn't he? All the Lumas together said, No more crying, Mama. Thank you, said the girl in a whisper. She pulled the Lumas close and hugged them. From that day on, starbits no longer fell from the girl's eyes. The comet set forth for the girl's home planet, its long tail blazing proudly behind it. Final chapter. Family. With its many lumas and telescopes, the comet was quite a sight to behold. The girl and the lumas were proud to call it home. At a welcoming party for a new luma, the girl gathered everyone in the kitchen and said in a louder voice than usual, "Alright everyone, let's make a cake. A cake sprinkled with star bits, then it will be a star cake." The lumas excitedly began to gather the ingredients. As she watched the lumas scurry about, the girl smiled and thought to herself, "This is my family now, and I will stay with them until they're ready to leave the nest. And when they do leave, I'll see them off with a smile, because that's what makes a mother's happiest." That night when the girl lay down to sleep, a soft light enveloped her and reminded her of the blue planet she once called home. But it would be nice to return home once every 100 years to nap in my favorite sleeping nook. The comet carrying the lumas, and the girl continues on its journey to this very day, with more family members until they can be counted. It's said that the comet visits the girl's home planet once every 100 years, its proud white tail glittering in the sky. The end. Epilogue. Good night. Though it was time to sleep, the Lumas were so excited that even a bedtime story couldn't calm them down. "What's this new world gonna be like? Oh, it's wilder than the last. Mom, I'm scared. Can I sleep in your bed?" The girl picked up her guitar, sat on the bed, and began plucking out a lullaby. The Lumas surrounded her, jostling for the best spots to hear her play. The calming tones of the music echoed through the bedroom and beaconed them to sleep. "Good night, my dears." But the once noisy Lumas had already slipped into the world of dreams. The girl placed the guitar near her pillow and then lay down on the bed. The girl would soon join the Lumas in their slumber as their comet traveled toward planets on journeys all their own. Go back. When next they woke, they would continue their search for the birthplace of the Lumas. As the girl drifted off to sleep, she thought it's so excited to meet new people. It can be a little scary, but that's part of what makes it fun. Greeting old friends can be just as exciting. Maybe next time I'll visit an entirely new world. Goodbye to those who we met on this journey. I will cherish the memories forever, and to those who will meet on the next journey, hello. May the stars shine on. Why can't I say this? May the stars shine down on you. Good night. With the Lumas and the girl on board, the comet hurtled through the starry skies, chasing the light to a new journey. The end. And that was the story of Mario Galaxy. Okay guys, so I didn't really have a lot of time to do both of the Rosalina storybooks. It's the next day, but we're here now. Let's go ahead and read. I don't know what this story is about, so let's get into it. There's 5 chapters. Let's start with, oh no, that's not right. Oh, come on, dude. Do I really have to click them one at a time? Okay. So it looks like there's only 5 chapters. Interesting. Chapter 1. What is wrong with me? Let's try that again. Chapter 1. Twins. A long time ago, there were twin star children named Mary and Lou. Good. They lived happily with the lady of the shooting stars and among their many friends. The twins looked identical, sounded identical, and spent all their time together. It would have been difficult to tell them apart were it burst into light. She left only stardust in her wake. But why? The Lady of Shooting Stars had taught the Lumas that they could become stars in order to help someone, but Mary became one for no reason at all. Lou rushed to the Lady of Shooting Stars for help. We said, "I'm afraid Mary has left this path, but she will always be in our hearts. The stardust she left behind will give life to a new star child. She may return someday. That could be tomorrow or 100 years from now or even 10,000 years from now." Upon hearing this, Lou covered her eyes. Lou covered her ears and cried. Chapter 2, Alone. Lou was alone now. A day passed, then another, and before she knew it, 100 years had gone by. All that time, Lou was unable to become a star, but she didn't want to become one anyway. She wanted to stay a Luma until she saw Mary again. She wanted everything to be like it was before. And yet she felt that a Luma who couldn't become a star wasn't particularly useful. So one day she decided to begin a new journey. Oh shoot, sorry guys. She built a spaceship and left to travel through stars. As the centuries passed, she hoped this path would reunite her with Murray. Lou happened upon the Lady of Shooting Stars a number of times during her travels, but Mary was not with her, and as time went on, all of her friends became stars. 1,000 years passed this way. Oh my gosh, that face. Lou thought Mary's probably forgotten about me by now. She's probably playing with the star bunnies on some far-off planet while I'm here missing her. And I bet I'll be missing her for 1,000 more years, maybe even 2,000. I'll be stuck as a Luma forever. Lou found the loneliness unbearable. The truth was she really did want to become a star because that's what would save her from these feelings. She would become one right now if it meant she could see Mary again. Lou strained, shook her body, and struggled to learn to turn into a star, but she couldn't do it. Hope. Chapter 3. Lou had exhausted herself trying to become a star. It was just then that the Lady of Shooting Stars appeared. Oh wait, that's Luma. That's Lubba. I just realized. Is that Lubba? Becoming a star will not allow you to break free of this path. That's simply the nature of living within one. I'm sure that Mary is out there thinking of you too, and as long as you stay the course, perhaps she'll reunite with you, even though she's not near. I'm sure she knows where you are. After all, she's your twin star. You share the same stardust. There seemed to be some secret to these worlds hidden deep within her eyes. In truth, the Lady of Shooting Stars was reminded of her own past. She too was searching for someone precious she had lost, and she too believed they would one day be reunited. Finding your way without a compass or a telescope may be difficult, but hope is like a lighthouse. If you keep its fire lit, Mary can find her way back. The lady's eyes were kind as this message became clear. The stars that flowed through glowed brightly and reminded her of when she and Mary were together. It felt just like old times. And with that, something changed inside of Lou. Today, Lou continues her journey aboard her spaceship, now responsible for a whole crew of Lumas. She's dependable in nature and impressive in stature, as all captains should be. The shy Lou of the past is now just a memory. I'm Lubba, one half of the twin star children. I carry the fire of hope across the galaxies. Final chapter, Light. Mary was fed up and exhausted. She'd been awoken too many times. I'm sure this place is just as beautiful as all the other boring worlds. She had been on such a long journey that she was starting to reach her limit. Her sense of time and space had broken down long ago. Her memories were scattered like a hazy dream. She felt dizzy like the time she gorged on starbits and became overwhelmed by their sweetness. And then another time, it felt like I was drowning in honey. The time before that, it felt like I was trapped in a cage. And before that, I forget. Well, whatever. Just then, Mary spotted a red plant and decided to visit its residence. Hello there. How are you? This plant looks pretty old. In fact, it may have lived a little too long. Looks like it could explode at any moment. The residents didn't seem to understand. Instead, they just ran away when she approached. That's how it is always when. So she just wished them well and continued on her way. May the stars shine down on you. Soon after, Mary looked out into space and saw a pink comet hurtling past. She approached it and said, "Whoa, hello there. Looks like you're in a hurry. Life may seem long, but it actually moves pretty quickly, so moving as fast as you are is a great way to experience as much as you can." The comet replied, "You're a tiny one, yet you talk of life as a grown-up. Who do you think you are, and where do you come from?" Mary sighed as if she had been asked those questions before. "Who am I? Where I'm from? I don't remember stuff like that." "Do you really think those things are important anyway?" The comet was so shocked by Mary's response, it nearly crashed into a star. "It's pointless to remember stuff. Just repeat the same cycles over and over. So just forget about me and I'll forget about you, and then we'll both be on to the next thing." The comet said, "You're quite the peculiar little one, out here on your own. You should go home to your mama." Mary scoffed as the comet drifted away. "Mama, what is that word? It sounds sort of familiar, but I'm not sure why. Well, whatever. It was time for a rest anyway." The next world Mary awoke to was pitch black. There was no life, and the stars had yet to be born. The galaxy was just about to take shape. But even in a place with no light, with nothing at all, Mary wasn't bored. She would become a star again soon. So she just needed to wait. I remember hearing that a Luma can become a star in order to help someone special, but I've never served any purpose as a star. Who was it that told me that anyway? Well, whatever. Mary liked the endless darkness. She preferred it. In fact, she found light bothersome. What's that? She saw a glimmer in the darkness, and a familiar feeling washed over her. Could that be Lou? It must be. I remember this feeling. I'm gonna find her. I'll seek out my other half. And no matter how long it takes, she's out there somewhere, and I'll never stop searching. With that goal in mind, Mary turned into a star again. The glimmer disappeared, and all that remained was the quiet of the darkness. The end. Aww. Epilogue. Journey. That night, the Lady of Shooting Stars had a promotion. A premonition. Am I saying that right? God. That a new star would soon be born. Usually on an occasion like this, she would invite a crowd of Lumas to the kitchen to celebrate, but this time she decided to wait in the garden alone. In the grassy field below the night sky, only the sound of the wind could be heard. Sitting there reminded her of the first time she spied the hill through her telescope. In the garden she could take in her surroundings with a peaceful heart. On this night she spotted two streaks of light in the inky sky. Looking more closely through her telescope, she saw that one was blue and flying like an arrow. Chasing it was a purple light. The two lights never touched, nor did they part. In fact, it looked like they were playing. The two lights began circling each other gleefully, as if they were dancing. Their pace got faster and faster, and their light grew brighter and brighter, until with one burst, they transformed into two suns. The twin stars continued to circle each other, bathing the garden with warm sunlight. As the sky turned blue, the sound of the wind seemed to turn into a waltz. "Hello, new stars. It's nice to see you." A starbit fell from her eye, and also, "Welcome back." Then she heard a voice down by her feet. "Don't cry, okay? Your mother's waiting for your tears to dry." Oh. The lady kept her gaze upon the sky. "I know, but these new-born stars are so beautiful, it's hard not to be moved. Their light is so new and bright. And they're pulling each other together so strongly, their orbit ensures they'll never part." She wiped a starbit from her eye. They each found their special someone. "But when I meet my special someone," the girl asked sadly. The lady's voice was kind. "The strongest force in all the universe is a heart that never gives up." The girl regained her brightness and gripped that lady's hand. "Yes, I think that's how we must be." The lady squeezed the girl's hand in return. And with that, the Lady of Shooting Stars went back inside, where she was met with a great number of Lumas in the bedroom, awaiting a bedtime story from their mama. Ever since that day, the sun's light fills the garden, and it's said that the wind whistles through the meadow to the tune of a waltz. The end. great addition to this Mario Galaxy 2. Love that. Okay, guys, that is it for the Rosalina's Storybook in Galaxies 1 and 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this ASMR. If me trying to do ASMR, I really suck at this, but I try. So now officially Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are done. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing Moriyoshi and the Mysterious Book, starting chapter 5. Thank y'all for watching. As always, good night.